As some of you may know, I don't belong among the best Trackmania players, but I have always enjoyed competing with players far above my skill level to see if I am capable of keeping up with their performance. I love being competitive. And that can lead to some very interesting challenges, especially when time is limited. The most important task is probably choosing the right map for you, one that fits your style and where you will feel the most comfortable. Otherwise, if you pick the wrong one, you could end up stuck far from a good placement. I was choosing from the Spring 2025 campaign. The first map I tried to hunt was map 20, but after 2 hours I realized that it required so much technique that I simply couldn't compete with everyone else. Understanding the map is also very important in this challenge. If you don't understand how a map works, it's going to be really hard to set a strong time. That is exactly what happened to me on map 8. To get a good time, you need to do a nose down jump and land perfectly into the boost just before the finish line. And I couldn't figure it out how to do it consistently, so I gave up again. But then I probably found the perfect map where a lot of players feel comfortable. This is map 13, a very simply built track where you don't need to know many advanced Trackmania techniques, but what you do need here is accuracy. Accuracy is your best friend on this map. As you can see, there is nothing complicated, just a few jumps and turns. It's a really easy map on the surface, but just a few taps off the perfect line or a slightly off jump and you will lose thousands of a second. And believe me, on this map, even thousands of a second make a real difference. If you look at the leaderboard, you will see that the times are incredibly close. That is because everything here has to be perfect. One wrong tap and you are already behind. Basically, if a map is easy, the records tend to be very close, or even identical. First thing you want to get when you start a new map is gold or ultra medal. I was always going for ultra medals and there was the same scenario. After 1 hour on this track I hit my first milestone, breaking into the top 1000 in Europe. Still far from satisfying. Right now, when I saw who was in the first place, I immediately recognized the name. Darkbringer. In my opinion, he is one of the best players to ever touch the game. Not only that, but he is also a huge name in Trackmania Nations forever. He is basically a true OG Trackmania enjoyer. And from that moment I knew that trying to hit the world record in 20 hours would be nearly impossible. But of course you never know what can happen in those 20 hours. His run was amazing. During the first 5 hours I kept improving my time little by little with small optimizations. The record was improved. To be honest, I didn't expect such a huge world record improvement. It's crazy to say, but this run actually put Darkbringer quite far behind. Both runs were amazing, but this one had cleaner and tighter lines. As time went on, I had to lower my expectations more and more. I was kind of motivated to fight for the world record, but at that point I wasn't really sure if that was the right goal to aim for, and that can be pretty frustrating, knowing you are fighting against something you might not be able to beat. Sometimes you just can't set the world record as your first or second goal. So I set another, still a very interesting and meaningful goal for me. As a Trackmania player, I have only ever earned one champion medal in my life, so hitting another one during this challenge would be absolutely amazing. I hunted this map for a few more hours and I was getting closer than I was expected. At that moment I did one of my favorite Trackmania runs in a long time. Only 1,000 of a second stood between me and my second champion medal. 1,000 of a second is basically nothing, but I couldn't improve. Every run ends up in disaster. Of course I had some close attempts to beat my personal best, but something was missing. My consistency goes down pretty badly and I just couldn't figure it out why. My pace was good, my consistency was okay, I was getting closer to reach very interesting results. But nothing changed. I quit the game with my 1 hour left with belief that something changed in the next day. And it worked. I felt different, especially compared to the last 5 hours where absolutely nothing had happened. And this time the pressure of the ticking clock actually helped me. I was watching my personal best run, world record runs, and the best runs in my country. I wanted to be sure of what I was doing, without leaving too much to randomness. Let me tell you, I have never been more consistent or more sure what I was doing in Trackmania than during that last hour. I only needed a small improvement possible to achieve my goal. Why couldn't I improve? I felt like I was doing well. Everything felt like this was the moment. So many close runs. I just didn't understand. And there wasn't much time left. This quote really fits when you look at this story. I'm not much of a quote guy, but this one really gives you something to think about. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story even if it didn't have a perfect ending. Even when you fail, it can be still a small win. Not always, but sometimes it is. Take care, and of course, stay cool.